So this is Kal Kat, the Kal Katster, and this is a quick review of Star Trek Prodigy, A Moral Star Part 1. This is Part 1 and Part 2. Then after Part 2 next week, then they show the rest of Season 4 of Discovery, and then Star Trek Picard Season 2, and then sometime in December they're going to air start the rest of the, So this is only half of a season coming up. Oh no! But yes, here is so they're spreading it out. But this is just before the finale. It's the penultimate episode before the hiatus again. So yeah. In this episode, they decide to return to Woven, named Calaria or whatever it is, Calaria, the planet. To take on the Dviviner and Dreadnought. The Dreadnought from G.I. Joe, that's the Transformer. So they go back to the Dviviner planet, and the miners think, of course they put on these funky Star Trek uniforms that look like Mirror Universe kind of. So it's a Mirror Universe of odd looking Star Trek outfits. They look like a cross between those and the first press series designs from roughly the Valley Stories season of On Location, and they also look a little bit like inverted Next Generation uniforms because they have like the white here or light colored here and the black on the sides. I'm not sure what's going on with that. They're not the best cadet uniforms ever. So they have uniforms. So they realize the Dviviner guy is gonna double cross them, or even triple cross them. So they go to the mine planet, which is a ship, and they go there, and it appears that the Dviviner guy is gonna. The Dviviner guy manages to capture Gwen. Well, they pull the ship in, and then Gwen agrees to go with him to the Dviviner guy back to the ship and escape. But he, of course, being a villain, prostitutes and goes on and does speeches, and so it's like, okay, well, wasting time with his voice, and so it's soapbox bad guy. Still not clear what he's up to. He reprograms the Janeway hologram to be a Mirror Universe Janeway hologram. So, which is kind of weird. Kind of like a Borg-looking thing, kind of. A little bit of a Borg. When he gets on the ship. But is that... he's gonna tell Gwen what he's up to, and then he doesn't. He fires on his ship's reactor so that it'll screw up the atmosphere and all that stuff, and then he double crosses her, and she won't tell him what's going on. He won't tell her what's going on because he realizes that she's tricked him somehow. He destroyed one of her communicators, but she's got one still on her. But it's really obvious because it's right there. But so they do the Verdium patch stuck to your back thing. Also, they apparently have stolen the proto drive out of the ship and put it in Murph and made him look like a. Because I guess Murph can swallow things into a quantum reality, kind of. Because he did that with the cobalt grenade earlier. So Murph is put into disguise as the Medusan to steal the proto-drive out of the ship. It's a very silly Trek idea. The old bait and switch Trojan horse thing. Even though he probably really couldn't hold that. I mean, come on, it's a proto-drive. But apparently he can. So the Dviviner guy figures out too late that he can't proto-warp, so he's stuck out there after stealing Gwen. Tal and the others then, having realized he's gotten far enough away, they're floating around in space, and they're floating around. They're still in the atmosphere of the ship, but it's leaking, and they've turned off the. He leaves the miners with them, and he turned off the ship, and he's getting away, and And they all realize that they'll explain their plan to each other, even though they would know. But it's for the audience that they hit the proto-arrive planet. Dviviner realizes he doesn't have it. Back on the ship, then they stop panicking. They float back down, and then they come out, and they try to organize a plan to rescue Gwen from the ship with the Dviviner. As the story ends. So that's pretty much episode 1 here. Apparently there are going to be 22 of them, so there's apparently 11 more coming later on. I'm assuming that what they're going to do is air Discovery Season 4 Part 2, as they said in the wiki and the trade. Part 2, and then Picard Season 2, and then go back to the other episodes. But they will be airing next week, the last episode of this story arc. So I'm assuming that they're going to put all this on Blu-ray eventually. Because, maybe. They didn't put Stranger Things Season 3 on Blu-ray, so they might not. I don't know. But yeah. If they think they can make money, they'll do it. So that was A Moral Star Part 1. Yeah. Anyways. It was okay. It was fine.